Hey, my name is Dr. Nought, and that's me trying to make horse sounds, because... yeah, there they are. They're in the background a little bit. It's kind of faint, but whatever. Anyway, we're back here. We're going back at the first junction. Let's go. This is Sorcery Part 2. If you haven't noticed, you clicked on the video, and that's what it says in the title, so if you didn't know that, I mean, it's your fault, really. This is the first junction you saw this morning. You've spent half the day walking in circles, and soon it will be evening. You still have to find any of the spell lines for the gate, if they can be found at all. You also need somewhere to stay before it gets dark. You turn to face back up the hill once more. This time, we're going to turn left, because apparently we can't go back to where we've been and redo those stories, so let's go this way. But this is where I wanted to go anyway. You follow the road between homes and low hovels. You notice one of the huts here has recently burnt down. It is a black, smoking ruin. I mean, let's take a look, I guess. You stick your nose through the charred door flap of the hut. Inside is a ruin of blackened cushions and burnt mattresses. In the very center of the ceiling is a ragged hole. There is no one here. You make a search of the hut, but the main thing you find is the glass pipe from a hookah. This is probably all that remains. It is worthless, so you leave it behind. You turn over one of the mattresses and find one half of a black wooden mask. The other half has burned away, leaving the thing useless. It is nothing but charcoal now. I'll take it. You put it into your pack. It will no doubt rub off all over your spellbook, but never mind. Time to go. At least the hut does not smell of death. Whoever was in here clearly ran away in time. But there is no sign of water either. No one tried to put the fire out. Huh. Stepping out of the burnt hut into the fresh air, you catch the eye of a tall, muscular creature. He is smoking a long pipe and nods at you. You stride over, not afraid to meet the creature's gaze. Good day. The creature nods to the burnt-out hut behind. Friend of yours? It asks. Of course. Shame what happened there. Real pity. What happened? Accident, the creature replies, taking a menacing draw on his pipe. Fell behind on their rent, you see. Always forgetting to pay. The coals of his pipe flare for a moment. What are you trying to say? You reply. Just friendly advice. When you owe someone, you owe them. That's business. You burnt their shop down. Who says? The creature replies. I think they forgot to mind their fire. Same way they forgot to pay. He tips out his pipe and grinds the ashes underfoot. Things are going to be different round here very soon, friend. Vic for first noble. With that, he stalks away down the street, humming to himself. So Vic is the same person that branded that woman that was the werewolf. We found one new clue, and I'm guessing that has something to do with that. Let's take a look. The inhabitants of Kharé are greeting each other with the slogan, Vic for first noble. Let's go along the street. You continue up the narrow road. It is packed either side with mud brick hovels, but most are deserted. A few creatures pass by, heads turned down. They do not look at you. You pass a drinking fountain, dribbling water into a chipped stone bowl. You lean down by the fountain and cup your hand to drink. Water tastes cool, if herbal. Perhaps something is growing in it. Let's spit it out. You spit it out quickly. You leave the fountain untested and continue up the road. Yeah, I don't feel like getting sick or some sort of plague again, so let's just keep going. This part of town feels abandoned, like the drying strip of sand left behind by a falling tide. Little further on, the road approaches the first stone building we have seen since the hut by the gates. It has windows of glass and a wide yard inside its uneven high walls. Whoever lives here is wealthy and understandably cautious. They have, however, left a fine stallion only loosely tied up outside. The horse, the house, or the main road? Let's take a look at the horse. You approach the horse. It snorts nervously, wary of your presence. Okay. Keeping your eyes fixed on the beasts, you slip the rein from around the hitching post and hold them firmly. Then, in one movement, you pull sharply, bringing it round so you can jump onto its back. The horse is having none of it. It whinnies loudly and rears up into the air, and then, with you barely settled on its back, it bolts at terrific speed along the road, heading back the way you came. Let's keep going. Uh-oh. You cling on as best you can, trying to calm the beast as it stampedes along the outer streets of Kharé. You plunge madly through a market, past a shrine, and down a wide, ruined street. Just as you think you are doomed to crash to a building, something makes the horse startle, and it leaps, throwing you to the ground. You land awkwardly. Horse whinnies and races away. Where in the world did I end up? I'm over... Okay. You are on a wide track, just on the outskirts of a fair. You limp towards the gathered crowd. People and creatures sprawl across the path, and several tents have been erected, their poles joined together by lines of colorful flags. It is some sort of festival. You ease your way into the edge of the gathered crowd. It all looks good-spirited and fun, and with so many people here, perhaps you will pick up some useful information about the spell lines and the city nobles. You push on through the crowd, when suddenly a small figure comes flying through the air and hits you straight in the chest, sending you sprawling into the mud, the figure on top of you. You push the figure aside and get back to your feet. It is a short, stocky dwarf, who has both his fists ready. He jumps back to his feet and begins to lash out in all directions. That's when you notice that his helm has been knocked down over his eyes. Going in close and risking a beating, you grab his helmet in both hands, I assume, and yank it upwards. The dwarf's eyes appear, small and black and very stupid. He throws 2 more punches, then frowns. "Where's the ogre?" he says. "What ogre?" you ask. "The damn ogre who threw me," the dwarf curses, spitting blood as he talks. He turns quickly, as though expecting an attack from behind, trips himself, and then tumbles over backwards into the mud. Suddenly, a great cheer goes up from behind you. You turn to see a large crowd standing around a ringed area, who are all looking back at you, waving money and tickets in the air and shouting and hollering. Suddenly, arms have grabbed you on either side, and you are being lifted up into the ring. Oh, Lord. I haven't even gotten a night's rest yet. Alright. Let's do it. Got 9 stamina. Time for some potion. "Our new champion!" declares a voice at the center of the arena. "He has knocked out the previous champion, but who will face him now?" It seems the dwarf was the last champion. How he got thrown out of the ring isn't clear. They think you struck the blow that laid him cold, and now they want you to fight. Just then, the crowd begin to cheer and applaud. The new contender has entered the ring, a wild-looking barbarian. "To the winner," announces the ringmaster of the fight, 10 gold pieces. "To the loser, a broken nose," calls someone in the crowd. Just a second. I'm gonna drink my potion. And we're gonna fight. I could use 10 gold pieces. Let's go. You look over to your opponent. He is almost half as tall as you again, with muscles on his chest and arm like sculpted wax. In the black corner, then, the ruffian announces, is Anvar. In the white corner, ruffian turns to you and hisses, "What should I call you?" "The Analander," you declare, shouting it so the crowd can hear. They catch the name and throw it up to the sky. "The Analander!" they cheer. The crowd begin to furiously place bets. You can hear them discussing your relative merits. "He looks feeble. Looks like a maniac to me." Ready your fists. Let's go full-blown 6. Oh, Lord. The barbarian raises his fist into the air and roars. The crowd roars in return. The bell rings and you charge forward, bellowing, "For Analand!" Anvar charges straight back at you. You meet in a heavy collision, but the barbarian knocks the wind out of you, and you tumble back onto the mat, breathless. Oh yeah? I got another 6. Bam. Readying a forceful blow, you hurtle forwards as the barbarian swings for your head. He is holding back. Someone in the crowd is shouting advice. Advice. Body blow time. Oh. You drop into a defensive crouch. The barbarian tries a weak punch, but you duck out of the way. I'm gonna block one more time. Oh, look at us. You stay low. The barbarian peer at you in return through his floppy fringe. He beats his huge chest and roars. Oh yeah, you're gonna take it now. Preparing a heavy swing, you charge for your opponent. Barbarian is wide open, arms raised, and cannot defend himself. Anvar staggers suddenly, crashing into the ropes at the side of the ring. A gasp goes up from the crowd. You drop back defensively. Anvar is performing for the crowd, making a circuit for the ring. As he comes to knock you down, you dodge the blow when he passes, and he frowns stupidly in annoyance. I'm gonna block one more time. Oh, so is he. Now we're just gonna crush him. You keep down. Barbarian makes a grunting noise, which is perhaps supposed to be a threat, but stays back. He steps backwards across the ring, putting space between you. Mustering a lumberjack blow, you lunge at the barbarian. As he stomps and batters the ground, Anvar grunts with frustration as he turns about twice and hits the mat. For a moment, you even think he might stay down, but, shaking his stupid head, he picks himself to his feet once more. The crowd are spurring on Anvar. "Take him down!" someone calls. Should I go for it? Let's go for it. Damn it. You try a weighty punch, but Anvar's own thump is a heavy one. You are thrown to the floor. The crowd gasps and cheers. Anvar pauses to wave to his fans in the crowd. You drop your weight and watch Anvar closely. The barbarian attempts a body crunch. You dodge to one side. Anvar beats his chest and pauses to lift his arms to the crowd, who roar in approval. He moves away, towards the other corner. There we go. Readying a forceful swing, you hurtle forwards. Anvar staggers back, gasping, his face a mess of blood and bruises. Summoning the last ounce of strength in your arms, you ready a final knockout punch that sends him back across the mat and out of the ring. 7 stamina lost, pounded. But we got 10 gold. You stagger from the ring, the crowd cheering for you, and collect your winnings. The fair spreads out all around you, a collection of booths and rings and tents and stalls. Hawkers announce the various attractions at the top of their lungs. The general atmosphere is cheerful, with just a hint of violence. Can we please get some food? What does this say? Musicians, no. Middle of the midway, I don't know what that means. Can we get some food? Let's go over here. You push your way through the crowds to the very heart of the fair and look around at the attractions on offer. So we've got top of the midway, Dancing Bear, beer tent, I like that. The end of the midway, let's go to the beer tent. Just by the river is a low tent, surrounded by several stumbling figures. It could almost be a tent for dancing, except for the strong smell of brewed grain that drifts over the air. In the stall, a group of 3 half-goblin women are pouring mugs of beer and talking to the locals. The sign reads, 1 mug, 1 gold. 4 mugs, 6 gold. Let's talk to the bartender quickly first. You elbow your way to the bar and wave to attract the attention of one of the women. "Greetings," she smiles. "What can I do for ye?" "What's on sale?" you ask. "Oh, sweetie," sighs the half-goblin. "You can't read? We're selling beer. 1 gold piece for a mug, and 3 gold pieces for 4 mugs. Wait, what? A tall, spindly creature raises his voice to announce he's buying 4 mugs. A huge cheer goes up, mostly from the women behind the bar. 3 gold pieces, you ask? I thought it was 6. So you can read, the woman replies. In that case, 7 to you. And she stomps away to serve another customer. Oh, what the? I just wanted to talk. Just then, 2 creatures walk past. So you say he wasn't dead when they buried him? Hisses the first. Not quite dead, the other replies. Enough undead, you could talk to him. You move away from the tent to listen to the creatures. Nobles, the first creature remarks. Why can't they just stay dead when they get dead? Couldn't agree more, the other replies. But at least they buried him anyway. 1 less noble for the boss to worry about. The creatures disappear into the crowd. A noble who isn't quite dead? If he knows a spell line, there might still be time to learn it. A stocky dwarf knocks into you briefly. Begging your pardon, he murmurs before slipping away into the crowd. I'm gonna buy a mug. You head back over to the tent and wave for the gobliness. Paying a gold piece, you buy a frothing... Wait, did that... Wait, did that just cost 3 gold pieces? That stupid dwarf steal 2 from me? Paying a gold piece, you buy a frothing mug of beer. Frothing. The ale looks muddy and somewhat disgusting. In fact, it doesn't taste like beer at all. Excuse me, you call. What is this? You point to the mug. Finest beer, she replies. but from her expression, she isn't telling the whole truth. Drink some yourself, you reply. Prove it. The woman smiles sadly. I wish I could, but I can't drink while working. Just then another customer rolls up, his nose bright red and his eyes soggy. I'll buy it for you. He puts 10 gold pieces down on the counter. Enough for all 6 of you behind the bar. To you, he remarks cannily. 3 sets of twins. Remarkable, isn't it? I don't think we can fight. You push the gold across the counter. Go on, you say calmly. 10 gold pieces to drink some of your own beer. The woman gulps. She lifts a mug and places it under the tap, making some half-hearted gestures to open it. Oh dear, she declares suddenly. I'll just have to go and change the barrel. She slips away. You wait, but she doesn't return. The drunk man next to you waits for a while as well, but then seems to forget why he's there, and stumbles away through the crowd. He's left another 4 gold pieces on the counter. I'm taking them. You pocket them and walk away from the stall. Looking back, you notice a pipe running from the tent directly into the Jabaji River. It seems the beer isn't beer after all. Oh my god. From across the field comes a murmur of excitement. Then, quite suddenly, a small tornado lifts a tent sharply up into the air and away. What? What? I just need some freaking food. Seriously. Let's go up here. You cross the fair to join a crowd gathered at a safe distance around a dancing bear. A dwarf stands in front of the bear, holding a lead that is fastened to a ring in the creature's nose. See my beauty dance, he growls, jerking the cord. The bear stumbles around in obvious pain. That's a bear? That looks like a big rat. As he tugs the cable, he plays a pipe with great gusto. The crowd are in stitches of laughter at the poor bear's performance. I only have 5 stamina. Like, I don't feel like I can do this. And I have no way to heal, right? I want to free the bear because, whoops. The dwarf is clearly a rogue of some kind who does not deserve the attention of the crowd, and you wonder what the bear might do if the cord holding it back were cut. But there are several people in the way, and the dwarf is unlikely to let you near. What can I do for a spell? I wish I could, like, triple the bear's size or something. Got K, I, D. Nope. Z, A, E. That's 3 stamina. I'd only have 2 left after that. Sorry, bear. T, E, L. Oh, I can't do that either. N, I, E. Nope. Or F. Creates a stench. Okay, I can't do that. Fire, you shout at the top of your lungs. Fire! The crowd look around in a mad panic, but see nothing. One starts to laugh, and then another. A third shouts, that bear is on fire! And the audience fall about laughing. Suddenly, a cry goes up from somewhere else in the audience. My gold! My gold! Pickpocket! Beware, there is a pickpocket at work. I lost my gold, too. You and the rest of the crowd spin round towards the voice, and see a small creature darting off away from the crowd and into one of the tents. Let's go. You elbow your way through the crowd, hoping to grab the pickpocket. But there are too many people in the way. By the time you have pushed to the edge of the crowd, the little figure has vanished. Someone shouts, "What's happened to the dwarf?" No, I'm going after the pickpocket. You slip quickly away, listening to the hue and cry as more of the crowd discover that they too have been robbed. You keep one hand firmly on your gold until you are back outside the crowd. Let's go this way. This place is terrible. You walk to the north end of the fairground midway. The fair continues from here, and a road leads away uphill. Can I just, like, get some food? The end of the fair? What does that even mean? You push your way through the crowd, following the road uphill. The party is getting wilder, and you could do well to be away from here before things get out of hand. At the far edge of the fair, the litter has left a tide mark on the grass. There is one last small tent here, probably a ticket booth that has simply been ignored by the crowds of Kharé. Looking more closely, you spot a sign above its door. Cabinet of Fortune. Try your luck, a prize for all. Ahead, the road continues through empty fields and patches of rubble-strewn wasteland. It climbs, so it must be heading for the center of Kharé. Steam rises from a large building beside a fork on the road. Looking back, you see what looks like one of the tents going up in flames. It must be part of the entertainment, as no one seems too concerned. In fact, a great cheer goes up as one of the strings of flags collapses into the bonfire. You have time to test your luck, no doubt, if you wanted. Sure. You go over to the tent and push back the flap. Inside, a grubby, bearded man leaps up from where he was sitting cross-legged on the floor and comes over to pump your hand. "Welcome, welcome, my friend," he exclaims, somewhat over-enthusiastically. "And let's see what prize you can win today. You must know this, there are no losers at Honest Hannah's Cabinet of Fortune." He gestures with one hand toward a large glass cabinet in the center of the tent. "How much does it cost?" you ask suspiciously. "Aha!" Honest Hannah replies, waving a finger in the air and acting as though he is pleased that you have passed his little test. "You are clearly no chicken in the springtime. The cabinet costs 2 gold pieces to play. If you don't have 2 gold pieces, then I'm afraid I don't care for you. But if you do, spend them with me." Alright, let's do it. You pay 2 gold pieces, and Hannah goes over the cabinet and presses a small button on the side. It seems to operate a cantilevered spike, which pokes the creature, who squeals, jumps from its perch, and begins fluttering around inside the case. The creature keeps flapping around inside. Eventually, the creature selects something from the prize pool, drops into a chute at the far side of the cabinet. You open the flap and remove a small leather pouch. You open it, and it seems to be empty. But a moment later, you find you are scratching your neck, behind your ears, up your arms. "Fleas," Hannah remarks. "I'll have the pouch back, though, if you don't mind." He snatches it from you, while staying well back. You scratch your armpit in reply, and nod to Hannah, who laughs a little too loudly. Then you head back out of the tent. Why am I heading out? I should go in there and kill one. I just got fleas. Are you serious? Alright, I'm sick of this place. I'm just kidding. I can't find any food. All my gold is being stolen, even though I'm stealing gold from people too. And I just got fleas. Alright, next time we're going to go up the hill and hopefully find some decent buildings up here and find some food and an inn and all that. And hopefully people don't, you know... Actually, let's pray. What just happened? Anyway, I just prayed and nothing happened, so that's typical, isn't it? Alright, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Take care. Goodbye.